Hi there, and welcome to my new beginner's guide and review for Learning Factory. I'm Icon, and this video will guide you through the basic gameplay loop, and also I'm going to provide a review in the second half of the video. So first off, Learning Factory is a game about cats, mass production, capitalism, and machine learning. Sounds weird, but it's a great genre mix, which is really fun and way less than Factorio than you might actually think when you're looking at the trailers. Of course, this game has drawn a lot of inspiration from, well, the formerly named game, but it's going into an entirely different way. So in Learning Factory, your goal is to produce goods to sell them to cats, and you're ultimately using that money that you're gaining from these sales for more technology. And there's going to be a deeper story behind that, but right now we're talking about an early access version, so there's not that much going on in that department yet. But it's already there, and the writing is really fun and pretty entertaining. Gave me quite some good laughs already. So to get started, we shall investigate the user interface first. Down here we see the items we got in our inventory to build. Up here is a little mini map of our environment, color coded for different materials. And over here we can sort the items with different categories. And yeah, up here we got some other elements which make more sense later down the road. So the first thing that we're going to do is build up a monument. This cat-shaped monstrosity is going to be the unlock for your tech tree. I don't know why it's shaped like that. We have to ask the developer for that. But yeah, basically with this building, you get access to the entire tech tree. As you see on the left side, and with these things in color are the technologies you already got, and grayed out are the technologies we have not yet. Here's the cost factor, so 25 what, you might ask yourself. Pressing I for the inventory, 25 coins. To do research, we're going to need a science laboratory. You start out with Dr. Katz's office, who's a scientist, which you start with. So you place down the office, left click it, and here you see is your first scientist. The only real important thing here to know is that this dude does produce one article per 4 coins you put in there. So how much is an article worth? That's hard to tell, but this dude does science for coins, and this is how sciencing in this game basically works. You pay scientists for doing the work. Now, with that out of the way, we're going to start researching something, and I'll start out with the splitter technology. We're going to start out with splitters and manipulators. It'll all make sense in a moment, don't you worry. So let's start that research, and as you can see here, it's beginning to drain my money and convert it into articles, which is basically progress for us. To earn new money, we're going to place down first our store. The first store you got is a 1 coin store, as you see here. All goods, 1 coin. To sell something, you need, of course, customers. Customers are brought in via a cat gate. So the cat gate can be either slapped in a distance here, and as you can see here, the blue arrow designates where the cats or the goods in general spawn, and then you can take the transporters here and connect that, and then the cats get into the shop and start requesting goods. And as you see here, there's nothing in stock, so the cats are a little bit sad and leaving the store. As you see here, they are all requesting balls of yarn. So we got a yarn ball maker machine in our pockets. So let's get started with that, I'd say. And this machine, let's place it down, transforms cotton packs into yarn balls. So to produce cotton packs, we can take these cotton plants here, but we shall not harvest them by hand. We're going to use the cotton collector machine. And here you see those gray tiles back there. They want to be in the resource patch, and they turn green. And the blue arrow here is a designator where the materials will be output ultimately. So we're going to do this like that. Place down the cotton collector here, and now you see this machine starts collecting cotton from these plants and drops it down here, ready to be processed. So we're going to take the transporters here. So with the R button, you can rotate them, and we're going to place it down to connect to the yarn ball maker. And here goes. Now the machine outputs its product down here into this direction, and now we're going to connect it to the shop. Voila, our first sales are happening. We now get the yarn balls into the factory, and now occasionally somebody will actually be capable of buying something. Ain't that beautiful? So over here we now see a money income slowly starting, and we're also going to keep researching things here. Let's research the cat store next, because this is going to be quite useful for us as well. So this is basically how almost everything works. We're going to use now the other cotton collector, and we're going to put it down like that. And now I'm going to use the loom I got in my inventory, but I want to do something different here. So we got splitters. Here's a splitter. We can connect it to a belt. And now we can just simply connect that end of this splitter here directly to the loom. What happens now is that the splitter provides the material directly into the loom. Good stuff. And the loom does produce cloth, and the cloth can now go into the shop. We're out of transporters. That's a little bit sad. So resources can also be gathered manually. So here's an iron nugget. Just hold down the right mouse button, pick it up, press E, and here we can handcraft our transporters. So if you've ever played Factorio, this all might be looking very similar to you, but believe me, this game is going places where Factorio didn't go. So now we got this connected, and as you see here, the cloth pieces now get patched into the shop as well. So as you might notice here, the requests now keep going and going, and there's no direct punishment or anything for not providing a certain good. Here, cloths being sold. But you also might realize that cotton packs are also requested here. So we're going to connect this dude here and patch it right into the shop as well. So here we go. Now we're selling stuff. And as you might notice, yarn balls are by far the most requested good. And this machine here is not nearly at the end of its capacity. We're producing far more cotton than this one yarn ball maker is actually using up. So we're going to put up another research. First, we're going to research the cotton collector, and then the yarn ball maker, so we can produce these machines all by our own. So here we get to see how everything works already. So let's get into the tech tree and check out the statistics menu. So here we can check out some really interesting things. So for example, if we click this low sales problem, we can now check out the blue line designates the request of the good, the red line the actual woven amount, and green the actual sold amount. So here, this is what you can do to actually determine whether or not you're overproducing a good or not. I really like this one. For me, as somebody who's hailing from the economy side, wonderful stuff. Really, really wonderful stuff. So we're going to have to wait now for a moment until these researches have been done. But oh yeah, we got our cat store done. So the cat store, wonderful. Crafting a cat store will need iron and wood, so we're going to collect a couple of those. Iron nuggets are everywhere around here. And we can now either collect these apple trees here, but everything sitting on these green patches is a regrowing resource, which should not be picked up that blindly, because you can install machines to pick up these items. So with wood, it's far more effective to research the lumber mill first, which will then automatically pick up some wood for you. But for the sake of demonstration, we're going to make it now in a way how I wouldn't make it myself. So here goes a cat store. The cat store, we're going to replace that real quick. Let's remove the one coin store and place down the cat store. This one behaves really similarly to what we had before. So we're going to have to reconnect our goods here, because I happen to have misplaced that a bit, I guess. Well, here we go. So now you can see that these goods are going in there, but now the big difference is we can change our pricing. So as you see here, the prices are set. Here's the requested good, and here's the type of cat requesting that good, because every cat has a different taste of items. So we can now select how costly or cheap we're going to sell that good. Here's the deal. For example, a regular cat can't afford 2 coins for a yarn ball, and it will not pay that price. So you can now start determining that manually, and start watching all these things and be careful about that. Or you can go and science up all the way to the Smart Cat store, which is going to be ultimately capable of doing linear regression, which will be then offering you an automated way of determining prices. This game allows you to eventually study the behavior of your customer cats and get the optimal pricing going on. And that's something I really enjoy. So we're going to get over there and gather up some more wood. Well, we all know we shouldn't do it like that, but that's okay. Let's pick up a couple of those and start creating another yarn ball maker. So we can now set that up like that. And we could also connect the yarn ball maker directly to the shop like this. So let's do this. So we're going to do it like that. And we're going to set up a splitter in between here. Right-clicking items, by the way, just removes them. Left-clicking onto a belt just picks up items, in case you didn't know. So we're going to transport a couple of transporters, produce a couple of transporters, transport a couple of transporters. And then we're just going to pack up these things here. And the output will now be transported directly into the shop. This works with all the items in this game. So we basically could have already connected the yarn ball maker directly into the cotton collector. No problem. You can build a lot more compact with that. So beyond that, the game offers manipulators, which allow you to just pick up something from one place and put it to another place, something like that. So green square designates where we're picking up from, blue square is designating where we're putting it to. Pretty simple. And apart from that, there's lots of other things we can do. So here's one data storage we already got. The data storage is collecting data from your sales. It's got to be connected with an optic cable to your shop. And now whenever something happens in your shop, it will be collected. But this is not happening here because we only run a regular cat shop. To actually collect data, oh no, it does work. Okay, here. So this collected data can then be used to teach your machines how the sales behavior works. And that's all only the sales part of the game. So research-wise, it goes all the way down. So we can produce more sophisticated products. So first is the yarn ball maker, then goes yarn into rope, and rope goes into hammock, and all these materials of course earn you more money. And I think you might actually already get the idea where all this is leading you to. So also keep in mind that the stores here, you can build more stores. You know, I can't just go over here, build another one coin, build that one coin store somewhere else, craft myself a new cat gate, and and repeat that process and earn more money. Basically, the more money we earn, the faster we can research. And this is, yeah, well, this is where this will lead us. So I'm going to hop over to a different save file now, where I researched a lot of other things to show you how the machine learning part works in action. Here goes my chaotic first attempt of learning the game. So what's really interesting here is that we got a running smart cat shop. Technologically, I am here at this point where I already got the linear regressions researched, and what happens now is that this little thing here is collecting data, and as soon as this thing is done collecting data, it's going to price the items sold here according to that data. You can even go further down with that, go for other regression types, and you can also tech your way up there to a deep neural network. And yeah, that's where the game really goes places, and certainly not another Factorio clone, if that's what you've been worried about. So the last thing worth talking about here is that you can also research every sort of terrain. So you can place down your own resource patches. Well, not every terrain can be produced, but a lot of things, as you can see here, even up to deep water. And over here, well, you can see there's a lot of question marks depicting available later in EA. So sadly, we can't really see the whole picture. Every technology here also seems to have an upgrade, or is at least planned to have an upgrade where you get some bonuses for these buildings linked to some jobs, and there's always some little requests. So for example, I should here craft 2 manipulators, and then I'll get a reward here. So little jobs popping up to earn you some money. Money can also be spent to hire new researchers. And yeah, so this is where your progression goes into. And now we're leaving the guide part, and well, there's a lot of detail into that, and we're going to the review part now. So one last thing though, with your stores, whenever you're confused about that, there is a way of putting materials directly into your stores. So basically, when you want to sell something because it's requested down here, just pick it up and drop it on one of those gray tiles to designate it as a good that's meant to be sold here. So everything up here is actually being sold. Everything down here is just being requested and not being accepted automatically unless it is up here. So every store has 5 sales slots standard. Can, of course, I think there's technology to change that, but it really confused me when I started out that only the items up here are actually being sold. Okay, now that's off my mind. Let's do the review part. What do I think about this game so far? I am, bluntly said, waiting for more. This is very, very promising, and the only thing which is really keeping me right now away from it is the fact that it ain't done yet. This looks really, really appealing, and there's so much micromanagement that you can do. So there's not only the price management thing, there's also the option to sort your cat customers, because you know, we've already learned that every cat customer has a certain type of desires here and items they want to buy. And as you can see here, there's clerk cats, worker cats, and all manner of different categories. So therefore, well, with the given tools, you can, here with that cat sorter, you can set up even entire molds based around the needs of certain cat types. So you can really go big with what you got already here. Judging from the fact that this is a pretty early access version, well, I'm really looking forward to what we're getting into right now. As a point of critique, while I miss energy, honestly, there's no energy management whatsoever right now. Every machine just works on its own. And I wonder if that's going to stay like that. I don't know. And the other part is, well, it's hard to see where the game is ultimately headed because right now, well, there's a lot about the machine learning part, but I wonder what's in the second half. This is not really a part of critique. This is more like a I can't wait to see what's behind that. And yeah, right now I'd absolutely recommend to buy this game. For one, if you like factory assembly games and economy simulation games, because it's already quite solid and very unique. I mean, I've never played a game that featured this whole machine learning aspect like it does here. And so in this way, you learn something and you also can have fun while doing so. I do like that. And on top of that, well, it's a great way to support the developer. The game's super cheap for what it does, and if it will proceed like that, I can already tell that we're going to see a very unique factory assembly game behind this title. Also, what I want to mention positively here is the graphics and the art. If this goes on like that, I am already pretty much, I'm already fallen in love with that, because these little things, they really look pretty neat when you look at them more closely. On top of that, the really fun writing, I really gotta say, you should check out the technology texts. They're really good. And yeah, full recommendation, considering that this game is right now here in Europe at 12 bucks, I think. No second thoughts. In this state as it is right now, there's more than enough fun already in the early access version, given that price, and it's only going to expand from that point on. So, that's the end of my beginner's guide and review. And at this point, I want to give a special thanks to the developers who provided that key for this game. Thanks so much. You're going to see more of this game from my side as soon as the development is a little bit further down the road, because right now, well, there's simply not that much in it as of yet to provide a lot of content. But one day soon, we're gonna get there. So drop me your comments down below if there are any questions. Ask away. If you feel like I've forgotten something very important, just add it into there. I won't mind. Also, consider leaving a thumbs up on that video to show the rest of the world that you liked it. And of course, check out my channel. There's daily videos coming up there. All you need to do is subscribe and turn on the notification bell to stay tuned. Also, in the description box down there, you will find my Twitch channel where I do daily streams, and also my Discord channel where you can find a like-minded community of fellow gamers. Last but not least, there's also links for direct support of my video channel. If you'd be so kind to check them out, I'd be delighted. Whatever might be the case, have a good time and see you soon. Bye bye.